Good morning. I hope everybody's doing well. Mike and Arlyn, our Philippine journey. Uh, Goodbye. I think he has to put it up. Good morning, California Bear here already. Let's see here. Still adjusting a few things here and there. Good morning, California Bear. Hector Gubart as well. Where's the link to join the channel membership? I can't find it anywhere on Mike's channel information. To join it should be, you know what? I'd have to go look and see, Hector. It should be if you go to like donation. You know what? I'd have to go look and see. You know something, Hector? I will um, try and do a short video today, and it'll be in the membership section if you go to the main channel. I guess maybe that's the best way I could do it, with some screenshots and things like that. And thank you for considering it. That's for sure. Um, a couple of different things. We hope everybody's doing well. Good morning. It's Mike and Arlyn, minus Arlyn. All right. This morning she's getting stuff ready. We've got a bunch of errands to run today. We're going to go fill up the gas, fill up the SUV with diesel. We're also going to go to SNR, and then we're also going to be going to SM. So, Matthew says, see perks to find it. Good morning, Bill. How are you? Good to see you. Glad you're back with us. Oh, what an evening. We went out to dinner last night. Good morning, Bruce. Hope you're doing well. Ruby, one of my favorites. I'll tell you. Ruby, it's always a pleasure to have you here with your very well balanced thoughts. That's for sure. We went out to dinner last night someplace new. We went to the Royce Casino. They have they call it All Day Dining 21, which is a buffet that is at separate times. I don't know why they call it All Day Dining, because it's not all day, but it is. It did not have it actually had a very good sushi selection and good sushi. The salmon, the tuna, very fresh. Um, we shot some video of it, and we'll make a video and post it to the main channel sooner or later. We've got the members only video coming out this afternoon on yeah, we'll just leave it at that. It's a bit of a rant, but it's not that bad. It's just about the hypocrisy, the dichotomy of hypocrisy. So, BT and Betty, are you guys down in Palawan right now? I knew I hadn't seen you lately, but are you guys in Palawan? Ruby, I will tell you, with a few exceptions, everything was hot. The meat, they kind of like, what they're doing is slicing meat, holding it to the side, and then redoing that and portioning it out. So you just tell them, put it on the grill, warm it up. Otherwise, the stuff in the buffet trays was all hot. It was actually pretty good. Dennis Richardson, hello, Mike, and great watching you from Bermuda. Wow. Nice. I have a friend of mine was stationed in Bermuda for years. So BT and Betty are in Palawan. Okay. Yes, yeah, Palawan is beautiful. And if you get a chance to go to the underground river, BT, we highly encourage that. Highly encourage it. It is a phenomenal situation. It really and truly is. So let's see here. Spoke with my daughter again this morning. My daughter calls almost every day. She touches base with me from the U.S. almost daily. So, anyways, we did go out last night. The seafood selection was very limited. Um, Everything else, though, was very good. They had a whole lechon, they had sausages, they had steaks, they had pork cutlets, they had all kinds of stuff. And then they had dishes. Um, and then they did some crepes that were actually pretty darn outstanding. You know, it's a very inexpensive buffet. I think it was 1,998 pesos per person, which is cheap. Uh, so we didn't expect a whole lot, but we had heard a couple of good things. So we went and we did it. And that was great. Um, let's see, what else have we got going on? BT says they're island hopping for now, but headed to the caves soon. See you when we get home next week. All right, BT, we look forward to it. Ruby says we'll try that next time because from experience, the buffet felt usually warm and not hot. You know what, Ruby? I'm the same exact way. The only buffet that we have been to where food is served hot routinely against all of the individual dishes was the buffet at the Sofitel in Manila. Or actually, it's not in Manila, it's in Pasay, but Manila. It's right down the road from the U.S. Embassy, to be honest with you. Now, we are going to Manila to visit friends, I think next week. And we're going to try another buffet that we've seen several videos on that supposedly is really, really good. So we're going to give them a try as well while we're there. Nothing wrong with that. So, what else is going on? Well, let's see. Today's errands day. We got to run around, take care of that stuff. Um, the members only video goes out this afternoon. It's already in the queue and scheduled. Um, Tomorrow's video is already in the queue and scheduled. So we've been kind of busy. If we drop out, just hang tight. My camera is, I must have left it on last time I used it. So the battery's dead and it's on charge at the same time that we're doing this. And if it catches up the wrong way, the signal may drop and we'll switch to the actual desktop um, uh, webcam that's built into the iMac. So, but otherwise, it's been a pretty busy situation, to be honest with you. Trying to get all the stuff ready. Um, Watched a couple of videos, watched a couple of things, got a couple of interesting emails. Um, and I'm not going to be rude about it. Okay, I realized that we got thrown under the bus by a YouTube channel just recently, and I got an email. They actually sent me a clip of the video, and I guess they were screen recording them or whatever. I have no idea. You know something? We don't care. We really and truly do not. Um, we think that people are all, everyone has opinions. And you know what? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one of those too. We don't wish anybody any ill will. In fact, there are YouTube channels out there that desperately need the income from YouTube. And we wish them the best of success because we want to see everybody not just survive, but to flourish. We really and truly do. So, yeah, we're aware of it. We know what was said. We don't care. It doesn't bother us in the least little bit. James Gilbert. James, how are you guys? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. Whoops. Hey, Mike, do you think the inverted yield curve in the bond market right now will lead to a downturn in the economy? You know what? I was just on the phone with my broker Friday, I think it was, about this. The problem that we're going to face right now is because the returns on bonds are high, the yield and selling them is low. I think it's a phase. I really and truly do. I think it's going to change given time. I'm not going to jump out of the bond market right now. I'm not that deep in the bond market. So, yeah, no, maybe. Everything that we have in the market, quite frankly, is money we're willing to lose. So, we don't deal with it quite that, we're not that heartbroken over it, I guess is the best way to say it. Ricky Last. Hello, Ricky. How are you? Nice to see you back. That's a repeat question. Very good. I am impressed. I'm not sure what you're impressed with, Rick. Whatever it is, is it my amazing good looks? I mean, I know for an old guy, I'm pretty damn good looking, but nobody really pays much attention to me. I have no idea. You know what? We're just simple people. Really and truly, we are. James, going to Immigration Day, then go buy groceries, then going to Texas Roadhouse, want a good steak. You know what, James? I really have been very impressed with the Texas Roadhouse that they opened up here at SM. We're going to be at the bank today. We're going to be at S&R today. We're going to be at the gas station today. We're going to be at SM today. We've got a pretty full day, to be honest with you. So I can sympathize with you. We need to pick up a few different things at S&R, and we need to pick up. We had money left over this month. We haven't even picked up our quote unquote allowance yet. So, it looks like that froze. Wait just a minute. Let's see here. All right. I kind of knew that was going to happen. Or I kind of feared that was going to happen. So, does everybody have my video back? Is the video feed back? Rick, do you think the higher than expected jobs report in the U.S. will cause Powell to hike rates at the next Fed meeting? You know what? I don't know, Rick. Traditionally, I would say no. All right? But I don't know. I got no idea what they're going to end up doing. I think it's going to be interesting to see. Matthew, where's the best place to find a good woman in Pampanga for a relationship in the 38 to 48 range? You know, Matthew, I got to tell you something. I think there are good women everywhere. I really and truly do. Um, I think that they can be found everywhere. I can see you can see the mess on my bed. There's a oh well, you can't see my finger there. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Let me answer um, Matthew. They can be found everywhere, Matthew. I swear. I really and truly do. Uh, there's a lot of sweet, beautiful, nice women in the Philippines. Really and truly. You can meet them in the most craziest places. You can, uh, let's see here. What happened here? This is kind of crazy. Let me see. You know what? I'm not going to bother with that. Don't worry about it. So, anyways, my point is there are tons of good women everywhere. You can meet them at the grocery store. You can meet them at the mall. You can meet them at some of the nightclubs that have live bands. You know, like 70s and 80s rock and roll type stuff. So yeah, I guess. Rick says, I agree. Given where we are now, I'm calling for rates to remain the same. I think there's a strong possibility that rates will remain the same. Rick says, oh, I'm impressed with your knowledge of the bond market. Well, you know what? You should be impressed with my broker who educated me for like 20 years. I've been with the same broker for a long, long time. Um, and he's pretty good. Although we don't always agree, he is pretty darn good. Um, so anyway, so on the bed, my dry eraser board for notes that I write ideas and notes about as I'm watching things or listening to people. Uh, Arlyn bought me a boom arm um, to mount a light on because of the lighting issue that we have. And it doesn't work with my desk. So that's what's on the bed. As I've told you before, shit, we use this bed for a second midget desk. Um, it's our spare bedroom office. It kind of is what it is. It's kind of like the treadmill back there. It gets used very infrequently with um, it gets used, but it's very infrequently. Matthew says the problems I have had trying to date older women is they're shy and embarrassed on their English. You know what, Matthew? Yes, I think they're going to be. That's a problem, but it can be overdone. You know, be careful how you speak to them initially. Go slowly, enunciate clearly. You know, trying to hold a conversation in a loud place, that's just not um, the you know that's not advisable. Kevin says not seen a blog from ABC lately. I did see him in a pics at the hot spot with Chubb. Have not seen a blog from ABC lately. I did see him in a pics. I'm not sure who you're talking about, Kevin. Um, can you give me an idea as to who you're talking about? California Bear. Matthew, grocery stores, malls, in person, dating apps. Just don't be too eager to jump into it. Yeah, California Bear is absolutely correct. You know, there's nothing wrong with the dating apps. There's nothing wrong with things like Filipina Love and Filipina Cupid, and nothing wrong with those whatsoever. Just in your profile, all right, be very clear. But there are so many other places. There are cafes, there are restaurants, there are a ton of other places. I don't like the you know what? It's not that I don't like dating apps. I feel people don't guard their personal information on dating apps enough because there are a lot of scammers on them. Ruby, she says, Matthew, it's best to hang out at cafe. Yeah, cafes are perfect. I just said that. So you never know. They're great places. Kevin, Joe, aka Drunk Joe. Oh, Big Joe, I think is the guy that was walking last night. I think in his vlog and looked like the same two that robbed Lot. Tried to do a drive-by, grab his phone while he was vlogging. Really? Well, you know what? If you make yourself a target, you will get hit. It's inevitable. It's absolutely inevitable. And he's not the healthiest looking guy that's going to run them down. And I'm sure he was in a darker area. And I bet he was in a less traveled spot. But I don't know. I'll have to go back, Kevin, and take a look at it. I don't subscribe to his channel, but it comes up on my feed. But hey, Kevin says you could see they were stalking Big Joe, walking as they drove by him twice before they attempted. Was he on Fields Avenue going like out, or was he on Narcisco Street, or any idea where he was offhand? Ruby says there's a dating app in the Philippines where it's for single professional people. Wow, Ruby, I wasn't aware of that. Is it, if you feel like it, if you could share the name of the app for some of these guys? So John says, why does everybody talk about men looking for women? I've been married for 18 years, have a 16-year-old daughter, and lived in Leyte for 14 years. You know what? Those are the questions that come up. And if the questions come up or the comments come up, we discuss it, John. Not everybody's as fortunate as you have been in a relationship or as I have been in a relationship. But, you know, and I think, too, some men are shy. I think some men are shy. Hector says some chatter in Reddit about Filipinos being taken hostage in the areas. Yeah, I saw a report that says that they are looking into the truthfulness as to whether they can positively prove that they've been taken hostage. Because at this point, they're also talking about the fact that while they can't get in touch with them, the casualty and death rate is pretty high. So things could happen. Ruby says, I'm not asking Mike, not saying, oh, she says, I'm asking Mike, not saying I know of one. I don't know, Ruby. We don't really look at dating apps, to be honest with you. But, you know, I would wonder. You would think there would be, I would think. Kevin says, yeah, he was on the back roads and dive bars, probably Narcisco. He called it a shady area. He was drunk. Well, you know what? There's a saying that says a fool and his money are soon parted. A drunk and his money are almost always parted from each other. There's a guy, you know, he is a, I would caution him if I knew him, but I don't. That's all I could say. Ruby, that's actually California because that's a good idea for a new dating app. Absolutely. Absolutely. And ABC Vlogger is short for Ace Bachelor Cool. He's not released anything in a bit. You know what? I've noticed that as well. I know that he was in Korea for a while. Then I know he came back from Korea. And I have not seen him release anything recently, but we'll see. Todd, wow. Good evening, Todd. How are things down there in Florida? I hope you're doing well. Todd's a really, really nice guy. Met him once before at a meet and greet. Really just cool guy. And he's got a plan. He's actually planned it out, what he's going to do to retire in a professionally, financially confident manner. And I admire that because rather than say, I'm going to jump out there and take care of it, he's already doing it. He's going to say, no, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to figure it out. Hang on a second. Let me turn that off so that it will charge. I apologize. So I hope you're doing well, Todd. Ruby, maybe that's something I could develop when I settle in the Philippines. I personally know single professional women who could be interested. A project in the making. Yeah, Ruby, it could be. It absolutely could be. Especially if you were to develop something that was professional itself, where there were, some level of validity to the people that are in there. I know that would be hard to do because I don't think it happens with any of them, but that would be interesting. That's for sure. Todd, thank you. Oh, good. Thank you. Hope you're both doing well. Yeah, we're doing great, Todd. We went out last night to dinner for our anniversary, so that was great. We had a good time. Today, we've got a full schedule. We've got a lot of errands to run. Just so you know, Todd, for those of you that donated to our Halloween candy fund, we certainly appreciate it. Not that we ever asked for it, okay? It was very generous. We've already spent that and more, and we're going back for even more. We're going to bring a crap load of candy down to Walking Street for Halloween. So we hope to shoot some good footage down there. So if the weather's good, it should be great. It really should be. So, but yeah, we went out last night to dinner at the Royce Casino, and it was pretty good. I mean, for a cheap buffet, it was good. Still, our favorite buffet is probably the one at the Marriott. That's probably our favorite buffet here in town. And then our favorite buffet here at the Sofitel in Manila is just unbeatable. I mean, they actually have, I have a video somewhere of it. They actually have a cheese room that has 300, 400 different kinds of cheese and some different types of prosciutto type stuff. And I mean, it's a glass room. And man, when the door to that room opens up, you can smell it like 10 feet away. I mean, you really can. It's really cool. And they have all the other stuff. It's the one at the Sofitel is still our favorite. Absolute favorite. And then their desserts. If you've never stayed at a Sofitel, I actually lived in a Sofitel hotel for about 4 months one time. They're a chain originally out of Europe, France, I believe. Okay. And every one of their hotels has a French pastry chef, a trained French pastry chef. And that chef is responsible for all the desserts and breads. And it's outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Sorry about that. And that's located over by the U.S. Embassy in Manila. Just great. Kevin, what's your thoughts on RBI Steakhouse? Well, I'll tell you what, Kevin. We were just there. Last Tuesday, a group of us went to RBI for dinner. And I had the French onion soup and I had a Reuben sandwich. And you know what kind of got to me? The French onion soup was excellent. Excellent. Okay? It was literally a very rich broth. Okay? Cheese, croutons, whole 9 yards. The Reuben was really good, except it was on like, I didn't bother to look at it because every Reuben I've ever had in my entire life is like on toasted buttered rye. And this came on a pumpernickel. It was good. Don't get me wrong. It was really good. Some friends of mine had blackened chicken sandwich there. So another friend of ours had a shrimp salad, I think. We didn't have a steak. And I don't know whether we will. Their steaks, everything on their menu is very reasonably priced as far as I'm concerned. Their steaks are a little bit expensive. So I don't know if that's because it's good quality, high quality meat, or if it's because it is. But we'll give it a try in the near future. That's for sure, Kevin. Rick, have you met the new vlogger, Big Joe? No, I have not met him, and I probably will not. You know what? I'll tell you, this is kind of how we are. We don't live to drink, okay? And we don't live to bring girls home. So the bloggers that do that incessantly, they don't interest us. They really and truly do not. We are very simple people. We live our life, and we deal with our life here in the Philippines and back in the U.S. at the same time. You know, we still have family in the U.S. So he's just not the kind of blogger that I would go out of my way. But if we run into him, be happy to talk to him, chat, introduce ourselves, things like that. That's for sure. No doubt about that. Todd says I make a Reuben in a bowl, low carb option. Actually, that sounds pretty good, but I do like that toasted rye bread to go with it. I saw some vlog in the views around the Sofitel waterfront had been ruined by the land reclamation projects around the area. The waterfront thing, the property has now been filled in. You know what? I've seen that a lot of that area has that dolomite or whatever it is that they imported in. We haven't physically seen it. But, you know, the waterfront before was nothing but water. I mean, when you reached even at low tide, when you were at the edge of the property to the seawall, below that seawall, it was all water. Above that seawall, that's all Sofitel property. So that reclamation, unless they extended it from there, maybe, Hector, I don't know. That'd be interesting to take a look at. Maybe when we're in Manila, we can head that way. Bryce Tubb, Is it true that all bar girls go back home to their province during Christmas and New Year's? I heard Walking Street is empty and boring during the holidays due to this specific reason. No, Hector, I'm sorry. That's not true. All right. Not in our experience. A lot of the girls do go home. A ton of them do go home. But a ton of them come to earn money as well. And many of them can't afford to go home. They just don't have it. And some of them avoid going home because they know their family is going to want money or presents. And so they avoid it. New Year's, for every bar girl that we know that went home for Christmas, they made it a point to get back for New Year's. New Year's is a big money night for those girls, or for many of them anyways. So that's just our experience, Bruce. The old canoe, Robert, I was just heading out to the bank, saw you were on. How the hell are you, Mike? Hope Arlyn's doing well. We're doing great, Robert. The old canoe, folks, if you want some really straight up, actual, pure, clean Philippine stuff, he's in Naga City with his beautiful wife. I don't know how you rated a wife that good looking, all right? And I tell you, you should try and take a look at his channel. You really and truly should. Smart guy, and such an interesting background. Absolutely interesting. His life history is super unique. Yeah, Robert, we're doing the same thing, actually. After this, we're going to run to SNR. We're going to run to the bank. We're going to run to SM. We got to fill up the SUV. So that's kind of like our plan. That's pretty much an all-day event to hit SNR, the bank, and SM. I have a nice bank account and a big, well, you know what, Robert? I can tell you, looking at your wife, all right, and she's smart. She doesn't interact too much, all right? But I think she's a pretty straightforward, sweet young lady. I think you must have wowed her over with that voice and that laughter of yours. I think that might have had a big impact. She's a very, I would say she's very Filipino and yet westernized at the same time. Very sweet young lady. From what little bit we've seen of her on the channel, she really and truly is. So, either way, so yeah, we got to run around, take care of that stuff today. Oh wow, 31 in the live for this little channel. Getting 31 is pretty darn good. I've got to have a talk. I got an email the other day that somebody wants to do a collab type situation, and I got to tell them, you know what? We're so small, and our live streams are so small that doing a collaboration with us doesn't gain you much at all. I would certainly do one with Robert just because it'd be fun to do. Kevin, there are no self-gas stations as in the U.S. They are all self-service. Thus, does the Kuya get tipped for filling up your car with gas? We always tip the guy, all right? He's sitting out there in the heat. 9 times out of 10, there might be a little booth there with air conditioning, and 10 times out of 10, that air con doesn't work worth a crap. So, it is what it is. The old canoe. Mike, she has her shit together. Yes, sir. My sense of humor is what she said won her over. I don't doubt it. Robert has a great sense of humor. Oh my gosh, we have been graced by Andy Omar. How you doing, Andy? Hope things are going well for you. He likes Landers. Stop shopping at SNR. At first, I was reluctant of Landers, but now they got their stocks filled with a variety. You know, Andy, we're going to give Landers a try again as well. But we actually liked the meat at S&R better than we've been to Landers, I think, 3 times, and the meat selection at Landers at S&R just seemed better, even though Landers has a bigger, much bigger meat department. But you know what? We'll give it a try again. Wow. Oh, wait. What is this? Todd. Big round of applause for that super chat. Thank you so very much. Wow. We really appreciate it. Todd, hey, Andy. Ruby, women aren't just attracted with finances, but also personality and humor goes a long way. Yeah, I got to think that went a long way for Robert, the old Cano, to be honest with you. Hey, Andy, we have a new Landers building being built, and we do have an S&R. Why is Landers a better place to shop? I'm curious. Well, there you go. Good morning, Mike. I'm listening to the 49ers as I'm enjoying the M&A show. Well, good morning, Florida man. Hope you guys are doing well. I really and truly do. And welcome. Thank you for dropping in, obviously. Andy says he likes the Brazilian beef there. You know what, Andy? I've never tried that. I'm going to try it. I'm going to absolutely, you know what? Next time we go to Landers, I'm going to get some Brazilian beef and see if I can tell the difference. That, you know, I should have known better. I should have tried that. My problem, I think part of my problem with Landers was when I asked the guy if they had a brisket. And what he brought me was pretty much belly meat. I mean, it just didn't even come close to a brisket. So then I asked him for a tri-tip, and he brought me the same stuff again. So Andy says, I like the Brazilian beef. There you go. Todd, anytime. Thank you, Todd. Thank you so much. So generous of you. It really and truly is. Andy says, I got a Sus Vita machine now. I love it. Tried it with the cheap 150 peso steaks and come out heavenly with this Brazilian beef. Oh my God, Sus Vita. What is a Sus Vita machine? I'm not familiar with that, Andy. I don't know what a Sus Vita machine is. Todd, how's it going? Andy wants to know. Sus Vita. I'm not familiar with it at all. Todd, are you guys doing okay? Todd says, Andy's doing great. Ruby, when it comes to beef, Australian beef is better because of the high standards required in Australia. There you go. That's Ruby's opinion. Absolutely. Hector Gubat, the Landers in BGC offers a free haircut after certain spend and better variety and quality of hot food in their dining area. Wow, Landers is doing haircuts? That's something a little bit new. Well, I mean, I don't think ours does that. We have a brand new Landers opened up, I don't know, 4 months ago or so. I don't think they do haircuts. Sus Vita, Todd says it's a way to cook with boiling water. Okay. I'm going to have to look it up and see what it's like. We actually brought our stupid Instapot, which I absolutely love, from the U.S. We brought it with us when we moved. I love our Instapot. The old Cano, the veggies are the cheapest in town and great quality. The fish is actually not farmed and fresh. The cheeses are affordable. They got local great products as well as westernized. They do. I will say that the Landers in Angeles is bigger and has more product than S&R in Angeles. Andy says, I haven't paid for haircuts. Where the hell do they do haircuts, Andy? Meat is slow cooked in a plastic bag. Okay. So it's kind of like parboiling it in a, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up. Guga Foods uses it for his steaks to make it real tender. Okay, I'm going to write this down. Guga Foods. Sous Vide. All right. Got it in my notes now. Got it in my notes. Hector's got it pronounced sous vide, cooking in low temperature water with the item being cooked, enclosed and vacuum packed with spices. Huh. I got to check this thing out. Where did you get this sous vide machine, Andy? And is it a sous vide machine or is it just a vacuum sealer and you cook it in whatever? Papa in the Philippines. Good morning, Mike. First watching you live. Countdown at 294 days. The wife and I are heading back to the PH. Have a plan and is in place also as a backup. There you go, Papa. Always have a plan. You know, here's a guy that's doing it right, just like Todd. He's got a plan. He's got a backup. He's waiting for the right time. That's the way to do it. Ruby, does anyone know if you can bring fresh meat such as steak to the Philippines? No, Ruby, you would have to import it, and it has to go through inspection. That is, I actually looked at that many years ago. I was thinking the first problem was bringing dry ice, packing it in dry ice, and bringing it on a flight. Now, for you, timing is not so bad. I think you're 6 hours maybe from Australia to here. But for us, we would have to put it in dry ice. That would have been the first problem. The second one is supposedly, no, you may not bring raw meats into. Todd, Hector, thanks. Andy says, Hector Goodbye. Yes, great. So I'm going to have to look this sous vide up and see what that's like. In fact, I may look that up before we leave and pick up a couple of things and try something if it's just a vacuum, because I do have a vacuum bag sealer. Ruby says it's an 8-hour flight. Wow. I didn't realize it was 8 hours. I thought it was 6. Oh, well, 8 still beats 17. That's for sure. And layovers and everything else, it can be a 24 to 26 hour trip unless you fly PAL direct. So that's kind of where that goes. So I'm trying to think what else happens here. Sous vide, huh? I got to look that up. That I'm going to definitely look up. So, no, we don't know Big Joe. Haven't run into him. Haven't seen Ace Bachelor Cool. But we haven't been out that much. We've been very, very busy. Trying to think where else. What else? I think Brian should be on his way on his trip down to Mindanao now. I think, in fact, Brian should be getting ready to get on a plane just about now. If he takes the same flight that we take to Butuan, he should be getting boarding that 9:10 flight, I think. Andy says Lazada, search Inkbird Sous Vide. The machine is basically like an immersion blender. Heats up the steaks to a certain temperature for the amount of desired time. Usually medium rare is 51 centigrade for 6 hours. 51 centigrade for 6 hours. and Ink Bird Sus Vid. I'm going to look that up, Andy. Honest to God, and really, we appreciate the information. That's really interesting. So, and then I forgot the most critical part of today, the biggest part of the day. We have to go by JJ's today to pick up the last batch of candy for Halloween. We literally need to run everything and get it all done in our normal day, so that the only thing we're carrying back from JJ's is candy, because we just can't carry back more than that. Andy says it'll change my life. All right, we're going to give it a try. Kevin says, yep, Brian and Lot are out for a week, and Chubb and Ann leave also in a few days to visit her province, and Chubb meet the family. You go Chubbs. I don't know. It's looking pretty serious. I've met Chubbs. I know Chubbs and Ann. We've met multiple occasions. Super nice people. Really and truly they are. Super, super nice. And they get along so well and laugh and joke. It's just great. And Chubb's just always all around good guy. Really and truly is. So we've got that. Let's see here. I think that's really all we have. We don't have a whole lot else going on today other than that. A couple of things I've got to go online and take care of, but that can be done anytime, day or night. So Hector says, I'm ready to go there, sort of selling everything I own and convincing my wife, which is the hard part. She's a Filipino. Our last visit was 2005. Well, Hector, you got to keep her happy. You've got to keep her happy. So tread lightly, my friend. Tread lightly. Maybe the Philippines is good for vacation. Leon and Georgie, It's My Life, will be the only thing of Walking Street maybe for a week, besides the ones I do not watch. You know what? I've met them once. And you know what? And this goes back to that thing where the YouTube channel that threw us under the bus. We don't watch them anymore. We unsubscribe to them, and we wish them no ill will. Leon and Georgie, you know what? That's not content we really watch, because we go to Walking Street on occasion. All right. Well, we're in Walking Street every week, every other week. Okay. Because we go out to dinner, and then some of the people we go to dinner with want a bar hop. All right. But with all of that being said, you'd be surprised how many YouTubers here in Angeles actually don't watch other YouTubers here in Angeles. We try and tend to stay away from that drama that happens. We just try and stay away from it. If you don't like us, don't watch us. If we don't like you, we don't watch you. We're not throwing people under the bus and doing that kind of crap. That's you know what? At my age, I'm way beyond that. Now I do know sometimes there are misunderstandings. Sometimes there are misunderstandings which I think played a part in what transpired recently between us and being thrown under the bus. But that misunderstanding could easily have been said, hey, shoot me a message, shoot me an email. Why'd you say this? All right. And they would have found out it wasn't even directed at them. But either way, I don't give a shit. Doesn't matter. Adrian's hotspot's going to be lonely. Yeah, Adrian might be lonely a little bit. I'll be at Tequila Reef for breakfast again tomorrow morning, and I'll stop by and see Adrian on the way out. Just to check on him and make sure he's doing okay. She's afraid of the women I might meet there, Hector says. Well, you know what, Hector? You're going to have to really work on that. You're going to have to instill her confidence in you. Andy says they sell Mr. Dash garlic and herb in Landers. Oh my God, the pork chop sealed in it with it, and Nor liquid seasoning. Best pork chops you've ever had. 51 centigrade. I'm writing Andy's recipes down. 51 centigrade for 2 hours. Okay. They come out, so the pork chops don't come out like shoe leather. They come out nice and moist. That's what, that's the problem that I have with pork chops. My mom used to make great pork chops. Wow, 36 in the room, 17 thumbs up. That's great. I'm really impressed. Thank you so much. But my mom used to make pork chops, and they were great. Every time Arlyn and I try and make pork chops the traditional way, it just turns out like inedible. Hector says Nor is magic syrup. Maybe it's close to it, but I think Andy and I, from America, Nor is a very high quality product, to be honest with you. It's been around since Andy's mom was making food, since my mom was making food. It's good stuff. John, what time does the Halloween treats start to be handed out to the kids on fields? We will set up or start setting up around 7, and we will start handing out 7:30 to 8 o'clock, right around in there, as when we'll start. And it'll go until we're out, because we'll run out before we run out of kids. The kids tend to cycle through as many times as possible. They'll get their treats, go somewhere, come back, get more treats, go somewhere, and it's fine. We don't give a shit. We really and truly don't give a shit. We do limit them as they cycle through, only to make sure that we get as many through. But once we get to the point where once we get to a point where we're seeing the same kids over and over, then we'll just call it a quit. Probably an hour and a half. But then we have to go trick or treat to the bars. It's not just the kids. Not going to lie to you. It's not just the kids. We all have friends that work at the bars, and guys and girls, doormen, bouncers, waitresses, bar girls, managers, and we've got candy for them as well. So, but it's going to be an enjoyable evening. Andy says, Hector, not really. It is used in the U.S. as well. Oh, yeah. Knorr is huge in the U.S. Absolutely huge. Have you ever had their leek soup mix, Andy? That's really good. I've never seen it here in the Philippines. I don't even know if you can buy leeks here in the Philippines. John says, thanks. Oh, you're welcome. Absolutely. That's what these live streams are for. Nor has monosodium glutamate. Yes, it does. And you know something? Thank God. All right? MSG is God. As far as I'm concerned, there is no better seasoning than MSG. No better seasoning. It's just like, what's his name, the comedian. You got to have MSG. I wish I could buy bags of MSG. I'd put it on steak. Man, it's not healthy for you. It's not good for you, but I love it. I think it makes great food. But just my opinion again. Anyways, so yeah, so that's kind of our Halloween night setup. We think it's going to be set up over there in front of. We're going to set up at the intersection of A Santos and Walking Street. Um, Management at Lucifer has invited us to set up on one of their outside fixed tables, and they'll help us with some kid crowd control. So we'll be. That's what I think we'll be doing. That's where I think we'll be. So we'll figure it out from there. MSG is great. There are no studies that suggest MSG gives health problems. I don't know. All I know is I love it. I can tell the difference in food that's made with MSG traditionally and not made with MSG. I can taste the difference. I honestly can. Ruby's actually the smartest one. Anything in moderation is never bad for you, like MSG. Absolutely. And Ruby's right. Everything in moderation, good, bad, or indifferent. Arlyn just had that conversation about something the other night. Moderation. There's a limit to everything. Moderation means a lot. So, 9 o'clock. So I'm going to have to start wrapping this up. Wait now. Andy, it's like before when Americans tried to demonize garlic due to the Italian immigration crisis. So MSG was demonized in the Asian immigration business. It's possible. Absolutely. I don't know. I can't, that I don't have any real knowledge of, Andy. If you say so, I believe you. I like Andy's. I think Andy's one of the guys that I just like Andy. We'll leave it at that. Okay. Let's see here. So 9 o'clock, that means it's going to be time for me to, let's see. Hector says, not saying it's not healthy, but major syrup pretty much has the same ingredients. I don't know. I never looked at the ingredients. Never thought about it. Honestly, I didn't. You know what? Maybe I'll look at that. Magic syrup versus MSG. I don't know. I have no idea. Never thought to look at it, to be honest with you. So, if I don't get going, we're never going to get done everything that we need to get done today. So, I want to say thanks to Todd for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. For those of you that have joined and become members of the channel, we want to say thank you. Our next members only video comes out this afternoon. Prostitutes, porno, and teachers. That's all I'm going to say about it. All right. Ruby, you take care as well. Have a great day. It's nice of you to drop in. Thank you for coming by. Otherwise, you know what? When you watch our videos, please do hit that subscription, thumbs up, like, and we hope you have a great and safe day. Take care.